Hello, Prapti. How are you today?
I'm very well, Chandru. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. So we're here today to talk about Cook My Grub. So just to sort of people listening to us, what is Cook My Grub? Cook My Grub is an online home cooked food delivery platform where anyone who has a passion for cooking can join us. We can create some amazing food, and people who are time poor, people who don't know how to cook, people who would like to cook for themselves but somehow aren't able to find the time. They come on, they have a choice of lots and lots of different world cuisine, and they can then order this food which gets beautifully made by someone else at their home and then delivered through our network and our delivery service. So Prapti, do you do a lot of cooking yourself?
Well, I have to be very honest, I don't really get a lot of time. So I'm a fitness trainer and I am also a nutritionist. However much I don't get tired, I find time. Okay? And it takes a little bit of effort to pre-plan your meals, but I always make a point that my schedule of eating is as good as my schedule of working out. We underestimate how important the food and the nutritional value is for our bodies to actually show the results. And like I said, I do not cook myself, but I have arrangements. I have a cook who especially comes to my home to cook, because even though I have an option to do the takeaways, but like exactly what you said, food being cooked at home has no comparison of a takeaway meal. The love that goes in it, the ingredients, the freshness, and no preservatives, no random colorings, no random flavorings. I think the more pure we eat, the best it actually shows as the results. Our skin, our nails, our hair, they all come in place when we are eating the right thing.
Absolutely, and I mean, just to tell you a bit more about the Cook My Grub story, me and my wife, very busy professionals, commuting in and out of London, living in Surrey, didn't have enough time to cook. So we used to have a chef who'd come home and cook for us on a Sunday night. We moved from Surrey to Berkshire, we lost the chef, but then we realized, just like you, that there's people in the neighborhood who cook this amazing food. The key bit is, like you said, planning your life. You need to pre-order your meals with these cooks. So that ultimately, when Dinesh and I came together, we were discussing which problem do we want to solve. Food is always a topic of discussion.
Definitely.
So we started talking about food, and then we realized that both of us, very similar stage of life, getting into the middle ages with children, etc. Both partners working very busy. And we thought, why not create a platform where people who can't cook, won't cook, etc., no time to cook, can go on and basically order food from these amazingly talented home chefs.
I mean, they look amazing. They are like literally restaurant meal. If I go to a 5-star restaurant, I mean, it's exactly the perfect coloring, the perfect make. I can see the sauce and the gravy is so well cooked. I mean, I can see how much effort that person will have put in. And I think the beauty about your program, the whole platform, is the fact that you are supporting so many people. And then that's one thing I feel is, I personally highly regard the concept of supporting each other. The people who are not able to work, go outside the house, so many housewives, they won't be able to show their skills of cooking. If they were to work outside, they would be struggling to maintain that lifestyle. This is fantastic. You are blessed to come up with such a lovely idea, giving your community back, at the same time supporting them and finding lovely, tasty looking meals. Oh, I'm getting hungry, So tell me a little bit about each of them, because I'm so interested in finding out. This looks so yum. This is my comfort food, but I'll let you speak.
So this has been prepared by Chef Hema.
Okay.
Hema is a Gujarati chef who basically she lives in London now, but she's preserved all of those long-held traditions, and she makes this amazing food. So what we've got here is the khichdi first. So what the khichdi is basically rice which has been cooked in a pressure cooker with some lentils, and we've also got some smoked aubergine curry, also known in Hindi as Baingan Bharta.
Very nice. And just curious, so is this pure rice and lentils and that's it, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. So it's just rice, lentil, a little bit of ghee to give it.
Because you know what, I'll tell you one thing, because I'm a nutritionist, there's a lot of value in how we cook, okay, to actually preserve the nutrition of the food. Now I can exactly tell you that she has slow cooked it. I can see by the looks of it and I confirm it. But see, how she has cooked it, it actually is very firm. It's not overcooked. One thing that is extremely important for your food to actually give you the nutritional value is how well it has been cooked and if it's been cooked the right way. So I can tell that she has put in really good efforts. I don't know how you guys do it. She does it like she cooks in the evening, she preserves it. How is this done?
Yeah, sure. So the way it works is the food is delivered nationally. So let's say today we are on Wednesday.
Right.
So I need to place my order tonight, and then tomorrow morning the chef has got the list of orders she needs to prepare. She prepares the food, cooks it, chills it, and then the food gets picked up by our delivery partners later in the afternoon and then gets shipped overnight. The food is delivered in an insulated packaging with ice packs. It's only chilled, so it's not frozen. So it ensures that the food remains fresh through the journey.
Very nice.
But equally, as soon as you receive the food, you just pop it in the microwave or the oven, heat and eat. So it's almost as if you just made it some time back, put it in the fridge, and then you're reheating it.
Because I can see it's very fresh as well. So I think that's the trick, isn't it? You do not freeze it. You keep it ice packed, if that's correct. So it preserves the value.
Correct. So once the food is prepared, it can be eaten, or it can be kept in the fridge and then eaten over 3 days. If you find yourself not able to eat within those 3 days, then it can potentially be kept in the freezer and extended.
That was my next question, because I would love to know that if I pre-order meal, I can keep it in the fridge, right? I think some things can be frozen.
Correct. So you can keep it in the fridge for 2 days, and then if you need to keep it beyond 2 days, then we recommend freezing it.
Freeze it. Okay, well that's a fantastic concept. This preserves the food value as well. The good thing is that you actually pack it in a way that it doesn't get the heat, because I was curious about it, because most of the takeaways, what they do is they pack it hot and they put it in the packets like plastic boxes, and then they literally give it to you. They don't realize how much bacteria they're producing from it. So even though we are getting a packed food which is sort of fresh, but it's not fresh because the bacteria are already in there because of heat. So this is one thing that's extremely important, that you preserve it the right way. You don't suddenly put it in a heat container which actually produces toxins. So no, I love that concept. This is beautiful. And what about this one? This looks really interesting.
Right. So here what we have is, you can see the bread is actually called bajre ki roti.
Can you touch it?
Yeah. Go for it.
This is nice because it's not hard, right? Even though you said it was made last evening.
It was made last night. Yes.
Because you can see how nice and soft it is. And you would know the bajra is one of the millets. It's bajra, it's pearl millet. And what you would realize that. So the good thing is that in this particular roti, you can see she has nicely knead the dough. Yeah. So the water content is really good. So she is able to preserve the hydration in that millet, which is important, because if you were to make it without proper hydration, that millet actually goes really crisp and hard, like a cracker. Yeah, it is very easy for a bajra roti to become a cracker if the hydration isn't proper. Yeah, because this type of millet takes and absorbs a lot of water. So how she has made, which is very beautifully done, that it's still very nice and soft and chewy, which is very good. And this bajra, this pearl millet, is excellent for people who have diabetes. It's a low GI index. It is actually releases slow energy, even though it's a carb. It will not release your energy very quickly in the body, which basically means you stay full for longer. So good food if you want weight loss, if you want to achieve fat loss, this is a really good millet. And one more thing I would like to add is it has all the good amino acids that you need for your protein. So if somebody is looking to get more protein in their life and they are vegan, vegetarian, this is one of the good grains we can eat. But now you go ahead and tell me what this
And
is.
I mean, just to add on the bajra roti, it serves people who are gluten intolerant or celiac very well as well, because it counts as gluten free.
Absolutely. No, that's a fantastic way of giving variety to your gut, which is very good. Now, this looks really interesting.
So this is a very interesting dish. So this is a traditional Gujarati dish, which is typically eaten during the winter, and it's called the Undhiyu. It's basically lots of different vegetables, which when you have it in the winter, makes you feel nice. It's comfort food, makes you feel warm. Extremely nutritious because it's got lots of different vegetables in it as well.
That's very nice, because I can see that, again, I will say the same thing. She has preserved the food value. She hasn't overcooked anything. This is brilliant. No, that's wonderful. I think, I don't know how you have chosen your chefs, but Hema, you did a fabulous job. Hats off to you for keeping the nutrition value in the food. At the same time, it looks good. I'm sure it is tasty as well.
Sure.
But, you know, out of all this concept, what was that one thing you want to achieve, and what would you like to actually, you know, what would you like to do? Because this is a fantastic concept. If it comes outside in the market, it will literally blow. Because what's your vision?
So really what we look at Cook My Grub, there's two things. One is to make sure that anyone who basically craves a home cooked meal and doesn't want to order a takeaway frozen meal or have that guilt associated with any of that, they can go ahead and order from us and fundamentally get the nutritional benefit. And also sometimes you want to feel if you're missing that dish which your mum used to make for you, which you've had on holiday when you went to Sri Lanka 3 years ago. That kind of food isn't available. So you would basically come on Cook My Grub,
that's very nice.
place an order with us, get the meal. Also, most importantly, if you want it as part of having your food, if you wanted to support a small food business, ensure that those kind of profits or earnings stay within the community or within the local area, then definitely you should try Cook My Grub. The biggest and probably something which I get really emotional about is a lot of the chefs who are with us, they were probably not in employment before they started with us. I mean, one of the chefs was also, they didn't even have their own bank account. They were, a new immigrant. They were relying on their husband's bank account. Once they started making some earnings through Cook My Grub, they opened their own bank account just so that they could get those deposits from Cook My Grub. So there's a very big impact which we are making there as well. Getting people who otherwise wouldn't have been in employment to be employed, and doing all of this within their own, managing their own lives, if they have children, with the children, etc., without having to travel, because not everyone drives. So without having to travel, cooking these amazing meals within their home and then serving it to the wider communities.
This is an excellent concept. And I think it's important as well that people eat more home cooked meals than having to go and take those quick takeaways. Because takeaways are quick, right? They're always quickly made, they have mixed up the sauces, they don't really take that effort that these guys are putting in. I think I would highly regard the effort that goes in cooking food, the authentic food, and still having the taste that you would, like you said, remind you of back home. Now that's lovely, and I think the dishes look amazing. So how easy, I mean, because I know it's really like there are people scattered all over UK, right? So how do you maintain the hygiene? Because how do you do that? Because it needs to make sure the food that comes in is hygienic, they make it in a safe environment. How do you manage to tackle that?
So I think it's done in multiple ways. First and foremost, every chef who onboards with Cook My Grub, they are trained in food and hygiene level 2, which is the sort of standard requirement for anyone producing food. They also get trained in allergy awareness because, as you know, that's something which is quite prevalent in our society. People do have allergies, and we need to be extremely mindful, especially people preparing food. So they've done their allergy awareness courses as well. We help them with the compliance side of things, so they get registered with their local authority. Their kitchen gets inspected by their council officer, and ultimately they get a scores on the doors, like you see on when you walk into a restaurant. They get a scores on the doors. On Cook My Grub, over 98% of the chefs have a 5-star hygiene ratings, which is fantastic. And I mean, if you think about it, typically every home kitchen is made in such a way that there's hand washing facilities, there's cooking facilities, it's all within arm's reach. And as long as the chefs ensure that they're following those practices which we've recommended, the food remains hygienic. They also need to do a few other checks which they enter into something known as a food policy document, which serves as a kind of a checklist. That they're doing the right things, the meat's cooked at the right temperature, the fridge is maintained at the right temperature. We also have the fortune of doing a tasting session with them.
Really nice.
So that's one of the benefits of the job.
Okay,
So we taste the food, we give them some feedback, and then once it's all done, then they start serving to customers. We do ongoing mystery tasting sessions as well, which is another perk of the job. There's a constant feedback loop, and typically people who are brave enough to put themselves out there and get that feedback, they do take a lot of precautions, and ensure that the food remains as hygienic as possible.
Yeah, this is not easy, to be honest. Whatever foundation you are building, it is a matter of time. It's going to build into an empire beyond UK perhaps, but the concept is fantastic. The social angle is beautiful. The food looks gracious, and I'm superbly impressed by how everything is done. So well done.
Thank you, and we are probably going to taste the food
as
well.
Yes, of course. I can't wait.
Shortly.
I can't wait. I would love to try this bajra roti because this is literally one of my favorites, and I would love to take a little bit of a bite. This looks so nicely cooked. Like I said, the roti is well hydrated. She has done it beautifully. I mean, she's a pro, I guess. She knows. She probably has been doing it for a good long time. Very experienced. The food is nice. A little spicy, but perfect for me because I love spicy food. Brilliant.
And should we try some of the khichdi and the smoked aubergine curry as well?
You want to try? I try.
Go ahead, please.
I look the hungry one as well. Very nicely done. Very nice flavors. The khichdi is amazing. Like I said, it's nicely slowly cooked, which preserves the taste, the ingredients, It's really, really beautiful how she has done it. Very nice. Amazing. Amazing. Very nicely done. Makes me hungry. Comfort food is always nice.
So, glad you liked it.
I loved it. See, being a nutritionist, being into fitness, like I said, it's extremely important for you to eat the right food, make it cook in the right way. For me, nutrition is extremely important, so I'll be absolutely looking at when I'm eating lentils, if that were to be a protein meal, if I were to eat something with a grain, I'll make sure I have a variety of grains in my diet, from millets to normal rice and normal chakki atta that people use. So there needs to be a good, nice variety for you to actually have a healthier gut, which is the foremost thing you should achieve. So you get 5 stars for me.
Thank you. It's all thanks to the chef. I'm just the messenger here.
No, you're doing a beautiful job. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't get this platform. Yeah. So take some credit.
Thank you.